you.
Ceding that time, yeah. Good morning. My name is Donna Adden. I'm in zip code 34102. Over the weekend, I went back and watched the city council meetings on April 15th, 2022 and January 15th, 2025 regarding Naples Pride events in Cambria Park, as well as media coverage to try and understand how we got to the point where Naples Pride is suing the city and their defenders believe they are being treated unfairly. Pride groups claim that they want to be treated like every other organization, but that isn't true. They want special treatment and leeway to push the boundaries of public norms, common decency, and morality. We should also ask, what examples are pride groups setting for young people, especially girls, when one, they can't define what a woman is, and two, attack women like J.K. Rowling and Riley Gaines for speaking the truth? Can Naples Pride and their defenders explain how it's kind, loving, and acceptable to call women TERFs and other names for simply refusing to compete with men in sports or repeat lies like men are women? Now, I don't just hold pride groups at fault. Women going along also played a part, especially prominent female leaders like Hillary Clinton, Michelle Obama, Serena Williams, and celebrities who not only promote trans ideology, but sit idly by while witnessing girls and women being humiliated and bullied for simply not wanting men in their bathrooms or to compete against them. Maybe instead of saying weak men create hard times, we should say woke women create hard times. I also heard from people in the previous council meetings state how we need to keep religion and government separate, drag is part of LGBT history, and we need to protect trans kids. So to the pastors, priests, and rabbis defending idol worship, paganism, and pride, I ask, where in the Bible does it say it's acceptable to confuse and harm children or participate in sexual promiscuity? It clearly states over and over not to do these things and to turn back to God's teachings. For example, in the book of Jeremiah, he warns not only against worshiping idols like Baal and Baphomet, basically a trans deity, but about false prophets and priests who lead people astray from God's teachings. God says, "Do not listen to the words of the false prophets, for they invent a futile vision for themselves. I did not send these prophets, I did not speak to them. If they had stood in my counsel and heard my words, then they would have turned my people away from their evil practices." To the people who state drag shows are part of LGBT history and entertainment, why do you leave out that minstrel shows are also part of LGBT history? Do you find these entertaining? To the people who push trans ideology on children, I would encourage you to listen to the words of Chloe Cole, a detransitioner activist who testified before Congress. She said, "I used to believe that I was born in the wrong body, and the adults in my life whom I trusted affirmed my belief, and this caused me lifelong irreversible harm. I speak to you in the hope that you will have the courage to bring the scandal to an end and ensure that other vulnerable teenagers, children, and young adults don't go through what I went through. Everything that I went through did nothing to address the underlying mental health issues that I had, and my doctors, with their theories on gender, that all my problems would go away. As soon as I was surgically transformed into something that vaguely resembled a boy, their theories were wrong. The drugs and surgeries changed my body, but they did not and could not change the basic reality that I am and forever will be a female." So do you think Chloe Cole and other detransitioners are accepted in the Pride community? No. They are attacked for simply coming to terms with who God made them to be. Wouldn't pride groups teaching children to accept their bodies be an act of love versus daring them to mutilate themselves and try to be something they can never be, the opposite sex? Lastly, to Naples Pride leaders and their defenders, I pray in 2026 that God helps you see his truth, not your truth. Please understand that we are not treating you any differently. We are only trying to open your eyes to the unintentional or intentional harm you're doing to yourselves and the community. We are trying to uplift you to the same standards as other organizations who hold events in our community and parks. You state the First Amendment without ever acknowledging that the founding fathers like James Madison also believed that a successful government requires a moral and virtuous population. The structure of government alone cannot sustain liberty. It must be supported by the moral character of the people. Thank you.
Thank you.